أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Chapter 93, the forenoon. And please go ahead, Mondo.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. By the forenoon, by the night as it falls, your Lord has not forsaken you, nor is he displeased with you. And indeed the hereafter is much better for you than this first life. And your Lord will soon give you plenty. You will then be satisfied. Did he not find you fatherless and gave you a home? And he found you astray and he guided you? And he found you poor and he made you rich? Therefore do not treat the fatherless harshly. And as for the beggar, do not reprimand him. And narrate about your Lord's blessings.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Okay, are there any questions, comments, observations? Anything, any ideas, any comments, any discussions, any questions? A lot of words of wisdom here. God is telling us about by the forenoon, by the night as it falls. Again, all of those we take it for granted, and there is a lot of mechanics and science and technology and everything that you could imagine has gone into the creation of all of these things, and they're not by accident. And then God says, "Your Lord has not forsaken you, nor is he displeased with you." So, as I said, God is always with us, okay, as he is with everything else that he has created. And so we are in this situation because of our own deeds, our own doings, and God is saving us from all of those things, and we overlook those things. We do not even bother to understand what's going on with God's mercy and his love and his compassion that he has for us. Okay. And then God here he says that then, and indeed the hereafter is much better for you than this first life. So that is what God is telling us, that the real thing is the hereafter. And God is saying on over and over again that this worldly life is just an illusion. So we should not take it very seriously. And then God says, did he not find you fatherless and gave you a home? And he found you astray and guided you, and then he guided you. And he found you poor and he made you rich. And therefore do not treat the fatherless harshly, and as the beggar do not reprimand him. And narrate about your Lord's blessings. So these are the type of things that we have to do. Okay? We cannot tell the beggar to go get a job. Okay? That is not scriptural. Okay? That is something comes from arrogance of people who do not think and they cannot see farther than the tip of their nose. So again, are there any questions, any comments?
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Fazely.
Yes, go ahead, please, Jay.
Yes, alhamdulillah. I'll share with an ayah that I was reading this week. That was, I think this might be. I know every ayah in the Quran is absolutely amazing, but I think this ayah right here is the greatest. It's ayah 3973, and it says, And those who fear God, they will be led to paradise in throngs.
Yes.
When they reach there, her gates are open, and her guards will say, "Peace be upon you. You are cleansed. Therefore, enter therein and abide forever." So, 3 points I got out of there was first, number one, that the group of those that if we make it, if we continue and God blesses us to make it, and if we're in that group of those who really fear God, the faithful, the believers, the righteous, those, and also those who are forgiven, that if we're in that group, then God says He's going to cleanse. Then you're cleansed, and then I tried to imagine just how awesome it is where He says that and enter, and when you in this group, God willing, we make this group, and then we enter therein and abide forever. So it just really, really, really blew me away. Also with 93:4, which goes along with it. But alhamdulillah, I just want to say that,
Yeah.
and those that are cleansed, we know there'll be some in paradise who'll be like, "What are you doing here?" But like I said, forgiveness from God, we don't know who He's going to forgive at the very end. But it's just mind-boggling to know that the group of those who fear God the most, and when God said, "Those are the group, you are cleansed, enter therein, and abide forever." So just trying to wrap my mind around it. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Dr. Fazely.
Thank you. Very good. Very good.
Salam alaikum, Ali.
Walaikum salam. Yes, Tasneem, go ahead, please.
The last verse, it says, and narrate about your Lord's blessings, meaning we, all the time we say, this is, thank you Allah for this, thank you for that, like that. What's the meaning?
No, I think you got to also tell other people what God has done for you.
I'm sorry, what?
You got to narrate this for other people too, what God has given you.
I see.
Yeah. Okay, when something good happens to you, you got to say that God did it for me.
Okay. Yes.
So every blessing that you have is coming from God.
Yes.
And so you got to tell other people. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you? No.
No. Just go ahead, please. No.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Fazely.
Walaikum salam. Yes, go ahead, please.
Going back to the same verse, 11, and narrate about your God's blessings, irrespective of the fact that whether the person you're narrating to is a believer or not, because you're stating a fact. Is that right?
Well, this is something that happened to a person, and so whatever good happens to you, then you should tell other people that God did this for me, that God has blessed me. Yeah.
Because after all, we are just stating facts, and
yes, you're just stating fact. Exactly. Yeah. That the source of this blessing is God. That's what you were saying.
Which is the truth. Yes. Certainly. Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Peace, Dr. Fazely.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I had to remember Surah 8 all the time, that it wasn't you who threw, it was God who threw. So that was always a major thought whenever something good happened that we thought we did and we felt proud of it, that it was God who threw, not us.
Yes, 8:17. That's what you're referring to, I believe. 8:17. Huh?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And when we were always proud of what we did, my mother used to say, "Pride goes before fall." So we always kind of was careful about that. The thing that I wanted to spread today to everyone that was here, it was just my house helper earlier, and as soon as you finished, I came out very excited, and she said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "We're aliens. We don't belong here." And I don't know. It just was very exciting to hear you say that today, because we're never really that comfortable here. We were always wanting and needing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we get to the paradise, inshallah, like Jerry said, that we just welcome into peace, and that's what we're looking for, even here. But we're never going to really find what we're looking for here because we don't belong here. And that's a good message to tell people when they're feeling low and down. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Anything else? Any other comments or question observations?
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum assalam, Mahmoud. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, that verse, saying we found you astray and we guided you.
Yeah.
In verse 7.
Yeah.
It never occurs to the people that the messengers and the prophet, they were all, like anyone else.
Yeah.
Well, and God guided them. Whatever he was worshiping, the prophet probably was, doing whatever his community was doing and guiding him. They will not, acknowledge that the prophet was someone who never committed any sin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That it's a blasphemy to say the prophet was, misguided and God guided him. They never see it that way. And I will ask you also, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. Go.
No, I was just going to say when you say that they didn't commit any sins or anything, and my point is that suppose they didn't, what is it to the person who's saying they didn't commit any sin? Do they think it's going to rub off on them? I mean, this is so childish, okay? This is so ignorant and stupid, okay? I mean, what is it good for him if he didn't commit any sin? Okay? Good for him. If Abraham was never an idol worshiper, good for him. What is it going to do for me? I'm still responsible for my own actions. I have to lead my own righteous life. I have to believe in God alone. I have no other option. So what is it to me? Is it going to somehow rub off on me that he wasn't doing this or that? I mean, the whole logic just doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. And I just want to mention, for real said, when we get to paradise, I think we should say, if we get to paradise, we have to work for it. Shouldn't give ourselves that we are already guided. So yes, I just want to.
Crawl back. Way back to paradise again. Crawl.
If we go back to it, because it's a hard work for it.
Very difficult. I know what you mean. Yeah. But the thing is that that's the source. That's our source. That's where we came from, and that's why you don't feel comfortable in this world, this universe. You want to somehow get out of it. Space. Basically, you want to go into space, the so-called final frontier, and you just don't feel right. Okay, as though you are homesick. Okay, you long for something that you had and you don't have it now. And and this feeling is going to be in this world, in this worldly life, and until, as I say, until we go to the original place that we came from. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments or observations or questions?
Well, I just want to say, Dr. Fazely, that today's words that were given to Adam, I always wondered what they were also And since we are from the DNA, it just makes sense that whatever it is it's as close to Fatiha as it needs to be.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. Yeah.
So
well, I mean, if you look at I actually wrote an article about this a long time ago, many moons ago, in one of those journal submissions that I was sending to people. That if you look at the context of the Lord's Prayer, which Jesus told people this is how you pray, it's very close to Al-Fatiha. It's after all of the translation, all of the things that was went into that. It's still very close. Okay, deliver us from evil. Okay, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. So guide us to the right path. It is just it's just so similar to each other, and that's what he told them. He said, "This is how you should pray." The other prayers that those other guys do that contains a lot of extraneous stuff. They do it because they think that they're going to get closer to God because of many words that they have, but that's not how you do it. There are specific words that we had to utter. And now we know why, for example, okay, because the utterance of that Al-Fatiha, actually what it does, it controls the number of verses in chapter 9, okay? If you look at it, the chronology of the revelation of the Quran, which is Al-Fatiha is actually, I believe, the fifth one that was revealed. And if you look at, let's see here, just let me go back to, there it is, okay. Fifth overall, revealed overall. And the chapter 9 is the 113th chapter that was revealed. So at the very beginning, this one tells you that, yes, sir, when you recite this, you're basically telling that chapter 9 has 127 verses. And that is amazing, absolutely amazing. And as I said, that's really, truly eternal. That there is no way somebody can change that. That's the law of mathematics, law of numbers. And those numbers are eternal. And that's what is given to us. And so we can actually redeem ourselves. And as I said, it goes back to chapter 87 and 87 and Al-Ala. And there it is. 6, okay, verse 6. It says, "We will recite to you, therefore do not forget. Everything is in accordance with God's will. He indeed knows the obvious as well as the hidden." Okay, so this is what God is telling us, and He says that it is illa masha'Allah, okay, except in accordance with God's will, everything. And so we know that now, okay, that no matter what they say or what they do, once they recite Al-Fatiha, okay, once they read it, they're saying that 9 has 127 verses without even knowing that. And that's God's will. Okay? And it's mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. So as I said, you're a recipient of all of these things that we see, and it is, the beauty of it is absolutely astounding. And, we are privileged and honored, okay, to be the recipient of this huge blessing that God has given us. Any other comments or questions, observations on the chapter, before noon?
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Fazely.
Yes. Go ahead, Jay.
Another note I got, just a reminder for myself and everyone I was reading this week, that is Surah 43, Ayah 36. Because for the people who come in and out, they do Quran study, they don't do Quran study, they come to Juma. People like you say who turn away sometimes now and then for commemorating God. But the ayat says, "As for the one who turns away from commemorating the All Gracious, we appoint a demon to be his constant companion. So when you making your Salati prayer, that little whisper in your ear that is always, just know if you missing prayers and you not really focused on your supposed to do, there's a demon. So that whisper in your ear is there's a constant companion who's telling you, yeah, you might like, hey, I want to pay my bills on time. It's like, no, you can pay next time. Let's go gamble. Or I'm turning away from commemorating God. He said, yeah, that's right. You should make prayer. But anyway, I just want to remind everyone and myself that that ayat is amazing. Blew me away this week. That remind that when you feeling this way or the left, just remember that there's someone, there's a companion that's trying to continue to push you in the wrong direction. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Dr. Fazely.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is what the demon is going to be, the companion of that person, a demon, and as I said, a lot of people don't take these verses seriously, Jerry. That's the problem. Okay, they think these are just fables and just broken record that this guy keeps pushing on people and things like that, and it's really not serious. This is really not going to happen. As I said, one of the biggest stumbling block is belief in the hereafter. That people really do not have a very strong foundation as far as the belief in the hereafter is concerned. They take it as somehow, some issue that, it may or may not be. There's not. But God says they are absolutely sure of the hereafter. That's what God is saying to us in chapter 2. Okay? And these are the people who are absolutely sure about the hereafter. And if they are not, then they are not part of those people who are God-fearing. Okay? And again, if we, sort of run away from commemorating God, then this is what's going to happen to us, as you appropriately mentioned, 43:36. That's what's going to happen to us. The demon is going to be our constant companion.
Alhamdulillah.
Very good. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments or observational questions? Okay. So let me go ahead and go to the next chapter. Cooling of the temper. Okay. Andra.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Did we not cool your temper and removed your burden from you that was breaking your back? And we raised for you your commemoration. Then indeed with hardship there is relief. Indeed with hardship there is relief. Therefore, when you finish one task, start working hard again and always seek your Lord.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Any comments or questions on this chapter? On chapter the cooling of the temper?
Hey, Dr. Fazely?
Yes.
Yes. What does it mean when it says when God says when you finish one task, start with another? What is he talking
constantly
about?
you have to work. You have to work for your living. That's what God is saying.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. You go after God's bounty. That's what God says.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments or observational questions?
Salam, Dr. Fazely.
Alaikum salam, Nishat. Yes, go ahead, please.
This is in regards to the last comment you made about the last surah, previous surah, that, believing in the hereafter. And when you think about it, if you don't believe in hereafter, you don't believe in God. Because then all those questions come up, like, why are these things happening? Why, people who are doing, wicked people are successful? Why this is happening like that? If you don't believe in the hereafter and that the balance and both in this world and the other, I don't know, in the other world is just the justice, you can't believe in God. Then you start to doubt, the existence of God. if you don't believe in hereafter. So I think they're so interconnected that you can't do one without the other. And then if you believe in these two and say those who believe in God and the hereafter and lead a righteous life, I mean, if you do those two, then yeah, we all make mistakes, but we strive to lead a righteous life. So, and I've heard it very much. Our neighbors here, mostly Christians, and we have book clubs. And one time we were talking about it, and it was interesting that they all go to, take their kids to the Sunday Bible school and all that church and all that stuff. But almost unanimously, they were all saying they don't believe in hereafter. It was just, for me, when that discussion came up, it was just for me, like, how can you, so why do you go to church? And it was for them, it was like, well, that's for this life. And I'm like, that was very eye-opening for me, how people can have such conflicting habits and approaches or thought process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, this is as I said, many people, they live a double life. See, and they have something like on the side, and when it goes into their conduct and their way of life, is completely 180 degrees out of phase with what the scriptures say, what the morality says, and whatever that God is saying the right thing to do is. Is not in phase with that at all. So I'm not surprised.
And that's where, in another verse, God says, those who take their religion as a social activity.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of this is just belonging to a certain church, being part of a group. I mean, it just happens without thinking, without even thinking, like, why am I doing this? And Alhamdulillah, when I read the previous surah, every time I read that, I want to fall prostrate and thank God, because I really relate to that. I mean, God found all of us astray. And
exactly, yes.
It's not just Prophet Muhammad, or it's talking to all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I mean, you also have to remember now that when it says that we found you fatherless and gave you a home, that happens to a lot of people. Okay?
Exactly.
It's just not Muhammad that was fatherless. There are a lot of fatherless kids in this world.
Yes.
Okay? For one reason or another. And so, and God gives those people a home. And that's how he does it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking to a lot of people, but there is a paradigm and there is a model there, and goes after that model, and that your lives are alike. That you do the same thing and you conduct your daily life the same way, and that's what happens to all of us. Yeah.
That's so true. Thank you.
Salam
Thank
alaikum.
you. Wa alaikum salam. Yes, Tasneem.
In Surah, back to 94, Surah 94, this, did we not cool your temper and removed your burden from you that was breaking your back? So obviously, the person who is getting angry or losing temper is more under stress than the one on whom he or she is losing the temper. So what I'm saying, it's a burden. Being angry is a burden. Allah is saying, and we raise for you your commemoration, then indeed with hardship there is relief. I'm sorry, I'm not able to clarify what exactly I mean, but it's actually getting angry is more of a burden on the person who is getting angry than on the one on whom he is getting angry.
Yes, yeah, that is true, yeah.
So we think that, okay, so-and-so got angry and got over I got it off my chest, they say, right? But it's not getting off their chest, it's making it worse for them.
Yes.
So anger is never anger is never a good thing, Allah is pointing towards forget the anger and be calm and think of Allah, commemorate Him, things like that.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Yes. Okay. Anything else? This first, the first verse. I just wanted to make this comment. Okay, Mahmoud, just 1 second. Let me make this comment. This is actually the praise that Moses says to God. Okay, that it says that cool my temper, my Lord, cool my temper. Okay, and untie my tongue. That's what he asked God. Okay, so they can understand me, and so that's what the idea is. The idea is that it is a something that bothers people, that they are they anger quickly and things like that, and so it's something that God relieves from people and gives them a good sense of being. Okay. And here, actually, it says right here, it says that, and then indeed with hardship there is relief. Indeed with hardship there is relief. Twice. Okay? So, and God says after any hardship that you suffer, there's going to be relief, and so don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Okay, Mahmoud, go ahead, please.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Verse 4, and we raise for you your commemoration. That وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ.
Yes.
That you mean by, you gave Juma one time that no one knew. For example, Muhammad is the most popular name.
Yeah.
Today. So is that what you're alluding the commemoration? Because
that's part of it. Okay. Somehow they become famous. They shouldn't be famous. Okay? These people are not king or something like that. Why are they so famous? Have you ever thought about it? We don't think about these things. Okay? Why is Noah? Why do people know about Noah? What does the Chinese guy have to do with Noah? Nothing. Okay? What does the Japanese guy have to do with Noah? Absolutely nothing. You and I, and we know because it's mentioned in the Quran. Okay? But those people, they really have nothing but all of these names that are mentioned in this thing. There are 1.8 billion people who know about these people. Okay? And it is amazing. As I said, no matter what they do, they cannot change this. Nobody can change this. And I always ask this question, do you know who King of Siam was in 1832? No. Do you care? No. Okay? But they were big people. Okay? But somehow they're not famous. Not that they're not famous, they're well known actually. Nobody's saying anything bad about them. There's some jokers that say bad things. But they're in the minority, very small minority, and God takes care of them when they do that. But they're well known and well liked, and it's fine. I mean, that's how God does things.
That's what they were used in that verse. When we hear the prophet's name, you make that noise.
Yeah, exactly. You make the noise. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. But it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. It's just telling you that there is a reason that these people know about them. Okay, and again, you go throughout the Quran, and there are God has mentioned names in the Quran specifically. Okay, and people know about those names, and and then he also and those people are more famous than the other ones, and people know about them. I mean, Moses, everybody knows about Moses. Okay, everybody knows about Jesus. Everyone knows about Muhammad. And it shouldn't be like that. Okay, it really shouldn't be like that. But God made it like that. Okay.
Yeah, God actually says we exalt the believers.
Yeah, exactly. He does that.
Exalt you, make you kings and queens.
Yeah.
Verse 2 is the 1657 Brian verse from the beginning.
Yes.
Because I noticed that 1657 you are talking about today.
Yeah. 94:2 is here. Yeah. We remove the burden off your, the two verses.
Yeah.
9127. This is actually the 1657 prime number verse from the beginning of the Quran. Yeah, that's what that green thing says. You guys have the end open, and I get the feedback when I talk. Okay. All right. Anything else? Any other comments or question observations on this chapter?
Salam again, Ali.
Yes.
I have one more question comment, which is, did we not cool your temper and remove what was that?
It's if somebody is not muted and it echoes.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
So what does one have to do to cool one's temper? So Allah removes that, Allah cools the temper, because temper apparently, the second verse 94:2 is a burden on the person. So what does one have to do so one does not experience the temper?
Are you asking a question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, but you should do the same thing that Moses did. Rabbi shrah li sadri. Okay? Yeah. So he said, Lord, cool my temper. Okay? So, and he does it. He cools your temper. When you say that, he cools your temper.
Yeah. Because temper can be a very destructive thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, anger is not good. Yeah.
So that's it. Ask Allah like Moses did and hope that He'll help us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As simple as that.
As simple as that. Of course. He'll respond. Okay.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments or question, observation, thing?
Dr. Fazely, I was thinking that too, that the human being, we're always angry at God so much. That's why the peace offerers are not having as much trouble as those that are just plain angry at God. And
very good
you
point.
You have to try to change it, like who was in the whale? Jonah. Jonah was angry at God, and then when he decided that he had no wind and that he also was wrong, then he had to ask forgiveness. So as a human being, when we're angry because of a situation, even losing our job, whatever, we have to be at peace with God and accept what God gives us, so that we won't be angry. And if once you accept that, as peace offerers, God does cool our temper all the time, because we're angry at what we see out there, because we're seers. But God then will help us, inshallah.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
We even get angry with you because you say sometimes, well, I remember the first time you mentioned the Sabbath, I'm like, oh God, I did all of these things. I got something else, and it's really not you. It's really just God, because God is the one that told us. And then once we see it, so many good things has come about since I've been keeping my Sabbath.
Exactly.
I'm so tickled that we have this information and this forum and this messenger. Thank you.
Exactly. MashaAllah. Okay, anything else? Any other comments, observation, questions? I mean, let me just go back to 94:2. Okay, well, that now like a Israel. Okay, and we remove your burden from you. And this is amazing that this is which is a prime number verse. 2 is a prime number, and it happens to be 1657. This is completely independent of 9128 and 9129. Think about it, because neither 128 nor 129 are prime numbers. And this keeps track of prime numbers. Okay? And so, regardless of those two, this tells you 9127, because this 1657 in base 19 is 9127 in base 10. And if you have problems with that, you go to our website, okay? And let me just bring it up. And where is it? There it is. You click on this, and it goes to our website here, and you go to, let's see, where is it? Where's the number in other bases? You click on this button here, and then it goes right here, and then I'm going to make it big so you can see, and I'm going to put 1657 here. 1657, and then it says which base is base 10. So I put on this pull down drag thing, and I go to 19. Okay, this in base 19, and now I want it in base 10. Okay, so I click here to base 10. Oops. Oh, come on. Convert number. Okay. There it is, 9127 in bold. Okay. So, as I said, this is how God has designed it, and it is absolutely amazing. And so, when we see these things, as I said, it's a time for prostration to God and offering peace to Him. And as Solomon actually says it in not Solomon, I'm sorry, in 46:15, which is the age of 40. Okay, which at that time that you confess that you are one of the peace offerers, and so that's the idea. But it's the beauty of this whole thing, and it's again, we should be humble that we are the recipient of this huge blessing from God, and it's something that we all have to remember and be grateful for. You see what happened to our open thing? There it is. Okay, 94. Okay, are there any other questions or comments or observations? There it is. Okay. Okay, any other issues or questions or observations? Anything about this or any other thing? Have questions or comments? Okay, if there are none, let's finish for tonight. Okay, and inshallah, we'll hear from you next week then.